So continuing the explanation of the service bay, you can see actually the layout of the entire clean room, including the service chases and actually the clean room itself, and all these utilities feeding into these different bays from the service aisle. The front of the clean room area that's called test and characterization is generally designed as a class 1000, with each of these bays being class 100. There is a class 10 area here in the submicron room, and the number of air exchanges and the HEPA filter coverage allows this design to be classified at class 10. So those are the different clean class levels that we have in the clean room. Some class 10, class 100, and class 1000. All right. This is the main reason we're stopping here is because of the public address system. Public address system can be used to make certain emergency type announcements. An example of this would be severe weather. In this building, we have no alarm per se that would sound due to a tornado or severe weather. But what we would do is actually, if there were a tornado warning, we would come here and make the announcement and evacuate the lab. The point is that you need to listen to the announcements. You know, if there's unusual odors or smells, again, instead of generating an audible alarm, we're going to make an announcement and evacuate the clean room. Generally, the PA is for you also to page people that are in the clean room so that you don't have to gown up just to ask someone a simple question. The instructions are posted here. Basically, it's this #9 and hold the arrow key as you speak into the microphone, and then hang up the handset so that it's not busy when the next user returns the call. This board actually shows a lot of the placards that normally would be posted on the door showing other hazards in the facility. I'll point out a couple involving X-ray, the NFP fire diamond, and our lockout tagout signs. So let's start with X-rays. Basically, we have 7 pieces of equipment that are capable of generating X-rays. You will see this symbol posted on each of the pieces of equipment. They're typically electron beam systems. They have E-guns, E-beam, that they're using for deposition, writing, or imaging, which would be an SEM or an E-beam lithography tool or a thin films E-beam evaporator. They're all listed here. They've all been certified by OSEH Radiation Safety as not having any levels of detection when they were last monitored. This is updated every 2 years. So we feel and know that our equipment is quite safe when it comes to exposing people to X-rays. If you feel that there's an issue with X-rays, you should talk to the OSHA representative, get a personal dosimeter that you could wear when you operate this equipment, and it would detect any exposure to X-rays. I wore one initially when I came here because I was involved with a lot of this equipment, and after a couple of years I finally just discarded it. But we do want you to know that this is a possible hazard in our laboratory. The other one you'll see quite a bit that gives you a quick visual indication of properties of a chemical or sometime materials is the NFPA fire diamond. And you can see the fire diamond is color-coded for different categories or different classifications of materials, but also the number is an indication as to what level within that category. Notice that our pull stations are color-coded to the NFPA fire diamond. So the gas release is reactivity, that's going to be yellow. A fire pull station is going to be red, and a health or a medical emergency is going to be blue. You will see blue throughout the clean room. You will not see a red or yellow in the clean room. Those are located at the exits, like you see behind you. all right, yellow for the fire, or gas, and the red for the fire. And they're located at the exit so that you would initiate the pull station as you exit the building or the facility. Otherwise, you would stay inside, pull the alarm, and try to deal with the hazards. This way, you must evacuate and then pull the alarm and continue out of the building as you would do so. So that's a little bit about the NFPA Fire Diamond, our alarms. And since we're talking about evacuation, you will find this map in various places. The EECS website, the SSEL website, I believe it also has it, clearly showing you the evacuation route is leaving by exiting to the west end of the building. You notice behind you there's a door that would get you out much quicker than exiting through the hallway and into the atrium. The issue here is that this is not an emergency exit, that we have prevailing west winds blowing here, and due to the location of our stack, if there was any settling of a toxic release through the stack, it would settle out in this area that's on the east end of the building. So that is why the evacuation route is always to the west. That is also why the TRC that I mentioned earlier is located at that end of the building also. So what you do if an alarm is generated or an announcement is made to evacuate the lab, typically you're going to evacuate fully gowned. All right, and these doors will crash open. There's crash bars that hinge the doors open. So you're going to hit the crash bar and you're going to exit fully gowned. And you're going to follow the evacuation route. And when you get to the west end of the building, you can then go ahead and start to remove the clean room clothing. And you will, at that time, want to let the staff who is responding to the emergency know of any critical information that you might have as to what's caused this situation in the facility. To talk more about lockout, tagout for you as a user, anytime you see this placard or these types of placards that say do not operate or caution the equipment is being serviced, it's very important that you respect that. This is to stop service personnel from getting injured due to a user trying to energize a tool. So lockout, tagout is implemented here, and we will lock out a tool and lock out the power source and typically place a placard like one of these on the tool. Let's talk a little bit more about the alarm evacuation because I've described the pull stations to you. The gas pull station and the fire pull station. The blue one for health are located in the clean room. An example is the one that you see right on the other side of the door. They're also located at the end of each bay typically and throughout the clean room. All right? So that is a way to activate the alarm. The other way is that we have detectors throughout the facility and even in an envelope around the facility. And an example of this you see. And right now, these detectors are sampling the air in this hallway. This one is set up for chlorine, hydrogen chloride, ammonia, and these are the gases that we're sampling currently here now. Or if we had a detection level here, and the detection level were to reach half PLV, it would generate a local gas alarm, and that is this white strobe that you see. Okay. Notice that you do not see any white strobes other than SSEL. You don't see this on the second floor. You don't see it anywhere else in the building other than in the SSEL envelope. So this is typically referred to as the SSEL local alarm, and it's activated at half PLV to evacuate people from the lab. If you remember from lab safety, threshold limit value, or TLV, is a time-weighted average. And that is a safe level that a worker can be exposed to during an 8-hour period. At half that value, we're evacuating you from the lab. We know there's a problem. we've got to address it. All right, but what will happen is that at half TOV, we will evacuate. You'll start to leave the lab, and you'll realize the building hasn't dumped. What occurs is at full TOV, it actually generates a signal to where we want to dump. We want everybody out of the building. And that's when we employ the fire alarm. And at full TOV, the fire alarm and the enunciation will be related to whether it's a fire or a toxic gas.
Toxic gas leak. Toxic gas leak. Toxic gas leak. Evacuate immediately using a northwest exit. Attention. 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 An emergency has been reported. All occupants walk to the nearest stairway exit and walk down to your assigned re-entry floor or main lobby.
Also listed is Halon. And Halon is currently installed in the submicron room. It is where that there was very expensive electronic equipment installed. So instead of using water as a fire extinguishing agent, they used a component called Halon. And Halon is a self-contained system. The bottles are contained inside the gowning room. The red bottles located against the wall. If there's a fire in the submicron room, it will release halon in the form of a gas into that room, and there's a local alarm that is a klaxon type bell sound, and if that occurs, you need to evacuate that space immediately because halon is not good for your health, right? It actually in some way displaces the oxygen in the room, and you need to get out immediately, all right?